Welcome back. So today we'll be talking about the Key Vault, implementing secure data by setting up always encrypted. So this is the architecture that we're gonna do today. So in the exercise 1 we'll be using ARM template and we'll be creating this particular architecture, and then we have to create the connections using the commands given in the GitHub. So let's go ahead and start with exercise 1. So before that, if you talk about the Key Vault is a cloud service for securing, storing and accessing secrets. So a secret is anything that you want to tightly control access to, such as API keys, password certificates or cryptographic keys. So Key Vault service supports two types of containers, vaults and managed hardware security modules, which is HSM pools. So saying that, let's jump into the video. So in the first video we have to, my charging went away. Okay. So yeah, so coming to the exercise 1, the first one is to deploy the basic infrastructure for an ARM template. So if you go and search for ARM template, you can see there is a deploy a custom template. Click that, and here click the build your own custom template. Click this and load the file. So you can see in the lab 10 you have AZ500 Azure deploy.json. Click that. So once it is done, make sure you save it. So these are the resources related to that. So click save and select the resource group. So in this case it would be AZ500 lab 10. So if it is not there, make sure you create it, and it should be in East US, and make sure it's student and give your password. Once it is done, you can just review and create it. Well, it takes like more than 25 minutes. So let it be created and we can jump to the task 2. So just review and create. Once this is done, you can jump to the task 2. So the task 2 is to create the Key Vault resource with the key and secret. So the first thing is we'll be creating and configuring the Key Vault. Then we'll be adding the key to the Key Vault. The third task would be we'll be adding the secret to the Key Vault. So for that, we'll be going to the PowerShell. Oh shit. Okay. So in the PowerShell, we'll be creating the keys. However, I have so 1 second. So already took the videos of that just to save the time. So initially you have to use these particular commands which are given in the GitHub. So once this is done, so basically the Key Vault must be unique, and this is our vault name, which is in this particular resource group, which is in this particular East US region. So once this is done, you have to add the policies. So it has been enabled. So once this is done, we have to go to the access policies and we have to add the access policies. So if we go to the resources, where is it? Resource groups, click this lab, and here you can see a Key Vault. So using that command, you can create a Key Vault. So this will be created, which is a unique name. So click that. And here you have to add the policies. So you can see under the settings we have access policies. I've already added a access policy here, and you can do it by just clicking add access policy. So click that. So this is an optional, but you can keep key, secret and certificate management, because right now we are dealing with the key and secret. So click that and make sure the key permissions are 16 according to the docs. So I'll be removing these all and make sure everything is on. So now it's 17, and coming to the key permissions, I'll be selecting all. So select this one as well, and coming to certificate permissions, select this one as well. So once this is done, coming to the service principal. In the service principal, add your account. So if I click there, I'll just add my account here and just click select. So basically, if you talk about the service principal, it's an identity created to use with applications, hosted services and automatic tools to access the Azure resources. So this access is restricted by the roles assigned to the service principal, giving you the control over which resource can be accessed and at which level. So this is the basic introduction of that. So saying that, you just need to click add, it will be done for you. So I'm not adding it because it's already been added. So once this is done, the next task would be to add a key to the key vault. So for that, we'll be using this particular command. So you can see this is the command that I have used. So once it is done, so the first command is to run the following command. It's software protected key to the key vault. So this is the first command for that, from here to here. And then we'll be using get function to verify whether the key was created. So when you use this particular command, you can see the value is true and it has been created, and you can check the ID as well. So once it is done, you can go to the keys section. So this is for the creating keys. So once this particular command is done, you can go back to the keys and this will be created after that command. So you can click that and verify the settings and everything. So you can check this all. So once this is done, we have to move to the task 3, which is adding the secret to the key vault. So if we go back, if you see here, we have secrets. So this is already done. So let me show you how this is done. So similarly, we have used the commands. So if you go back here, so these are the commands that has been used. So the first command used to create the variable with secure string value, which is you can see the password. Where is it? Yeah. And the next command is used to add the secret to the vault. So this is for that. And the next thing is to verify the secret was created. So you can see it has been successfully created. So once it is done, you can go to the secrets and you can check whether it has been created or not. So if I go back here, so this is the one, you can verify the settings. So once it is done, the exercise 3 is to configure an Azure SQL database and data-driven application. So for that, we have to enable the client application to access the Azure SQL database service. For that, we have to click app registrations here. So if I click app registrations, so we already have an SQL app according to this structure. Now we are going to create this SQL app. So once we create, we'll be creating this policy as well, so that it can connect to this particular vault. So let me erase it. Okay. So now next for that, we have to create a new registration, and the name would be SqlApp. SqlApp, and we can select the platform as web, and you can paste the URL. So I'm just copying it and you can paste it. So once it's done, you can just register it. So after registering, you can go back, okay, and click this and make sure you copy this application ID, which will be used in the next other labs, in next few tasks. So once it is done, you can go to the manage section, in which you have certificates and secrets. Click that, and you have to add a new client secrets here. Click that, and you have to add a description in which, according to the docs, it's key 1 and it will be expiring after 12 months. So once it is done, you can initially you'll be seeing this particular value. Make sure you copy this, because after that, when you go to the other tabs, it will be showing this way, so that you couldn't copy that. So make sure you copy before it shows like this. So once you copy that, the next thing would be creating the policy allowing the application to access the key vault, which is this one. So now we'll be going to this particular task. So we'll be creating the access policy for that. Let's go back, and here we have to use the command line. So you have copied the application ID before, right? So let me go back here. So this is the command that we have to use. So here you can see application ID, the before that we have copied, we have to paste here, and we have to run these following commands. So the second command is to create the variable storing the key vault name, and the last command, it is used to the key vault to the application we have registered in the previous task. So once this is done, you can close the PowerShell. So the next task would be retrieving the SQL Azure database ADO.NET connection string. So for that, you have to go to the SQL databases. So if I go back here, if I can think I can see it. So you just need to click SQL databases, and here you can see a medical entry. Click that. Under the medical entry, you can under medical entry there will be connection settings, connection string. Make sure you copy this, so this will be used in the next tasks. So it should be ADO.NET. Copy the string. So once it is done, and next when you are applying it, you have to change this with your password. So once it is done, the third thing, task 4 would be log on to the Azure VM running the Visual Studio 2019 and SQL Management Studio 2018. So let's go to the virtual machines. So if you click, where is it, virtual machines, there is a virtual machine which has been created. Click that, and make sure you know this public IP, which will be used in the next task. So after noting this, the next thing would be we have to create a table in SQL databases and select the data columns for the encryption. So this is the task 5. So again, you have to go back home and click this medical, and here under essentials you have to copy the server name. Where is it? There you go. So make sure you copy server name, it will be used in the next task. And then you have to set the server firewall, which is this one. Click server firewall, and here you have created a new one. So this is what you have to create, and these are the public IPs of that virtual machine. So you can just click add firewall rule. In this case, the name is this one, and these are the IPs of the VM that we have copied in the previous task. So once this is done, save it, and after this you have to go to the virtual machines, click this virtual machine, and connect through RTP and use the username and password that you have created in the previous task. So once that is done, you can I have already opened it, so this is the one. So you can go to the start menu, and here you can see Microsoft SQL Server Tools 18. Click that, and here you have Microsoft SQL Server Management. So click that. So here we have to connect to the server. So I have already connected it, so you have to use this server name that you have copied before, and the username and password that you have done, and make sure it's SQL server authentication, and click connect. So once it is connected, you have to perform few queries. So in this case, if I go to the database, here you have to click, where is it? So open it, and you can see medical. So under medical, you have to create a new query here. Click that, and you have to perform this command. So I've already executed it, so I'm not doing it right now. So once you create this command, this particular table will be created. So you have to just click execute, So execute will be somewhere here. You can see on the query, you can see execute. Just click execute and it will be done. So once this is done, you have to expand the medical database, and under the medical you can see the table nodes. Click that. Will it take some time for that? And here DB of patients, here you have to click encrypt columns. So if you click this, where is encrypt columns? Encrypt columns. So when you click encrypts, this is the dashboard that we'll be seeing. So if you go next and make sure you select SSN and the birthday. Coming to the types, the SSN would be deterministic and the birthday would be randomized. So you have to select these two. Once this is done, go to the next, and here make sure it's Azure Key Vault and you have to sign in. So click sign in. So this already have signed in, so I'm just clicking this. I guess I'll be getting some. Okay, so this is the ID. So this is the Azure Key Vault that we have created before. So once this is done, I'm not sure why it's showing some error. Connect. So let me go back here. Sorry, databases, medical tables. Not sure why I'm getting the error. Encrypt columns. So if I go next, so SSN and this is birthday. So this will be domestic and this will be randomized, and go next. So this will be Azure Key Vault and we have to sign in here. So click this account and appropriate. This will be done. Well, I think there is some error here. Okay, I'm not sure why it's going. I'm just following the docs. So okay, let me encrypt it. Encrypt. Next. So SSN and birthday. This will be this will be randomized. Next. So this is the one. So I'm just checking the commands whether I've did anything wrong or. So while performing the encryption, if any error throws like exception has been thrown by the target function related to rotary server, make sure the key permissions value for the rotation policy operations are unchecked. If not, in Azure portal, navigate to Key Vault. So if I go back to the Key Vault, Key Vaults. And here if I click this and if I go to the access policies, click that and key permissions. So this is the one. So if I key permissions, so uncheck the rotational policy operations. However, we have unchecked it. Under privilege key operations, rotation. Privilege key operations. So even we have to release this. Okay, we have to release this one as well, and check release. Once it is done, click save, and it has been updating. I think now it should be fine, I believe. If I go here, so I hope it has been updated. So let me refresh it. Let me go back to the access policies, and if I check, good, so it has been updated. So let me go here, let me sign in Teja, and this is Azure, and if I change here, this is the one. Now you can see we have not got any error. Go to next, and on the master Azure key sign in. Okay, run the settings. On run settings, click next, go to the next, and under summary, click the finish. Encryption when same under the, okay, finish. So you can sign here. So it has been done. So SQL Server Managed Console, the object pane under medical node, expand the security and always encrypted subnodes. So the always encrypted keys subnodes contains the column master keys and column encryption subfolders. So once this is done, let's go ahead and expand the security. Well, it's taking time. So once this is done, we'll be checking the security folder, and then we'll be moving to the exercise 4, which is demonstrating the use of Azure Key Vault in encrypting the Azure SQL databases. Dun, dun, dun. So once we are done with this burger thing, we'll be opening the Visual Studio and we'll be performing the operations, where we'll be creating a new project named OPS Encrypt, and we'll be installing some packages, and we'll try to retrieve the database from there. So finally it's done. Now we can close it. So it's done, so we can close it. So now we can go to the Object Explorer, and we can go to the Security tab. Under Security, we have this one. So it's done. Always encrypted support content. So let's go here and let's use Visual Studio. So we have to go to the start menu and we have to click this Visual Studio 2019. Since it's already there, I'm just clicking it. And so sign in. So I'm signing in with my Azure account that I'm using right now. So let me add it. So and sign in when prompted using credentials and authenticator description. So here so let be basic. Start the project. So now let's go ahead and create a new project, and in the new project we have to select ConsoleApp.NET Framework. So let's wait for that. So let me search for ConsoleApp. So click this ConsoleApp.framework and click next. Here, coming to the name is Encrypt according to the infrastructure that we have seen. So once it is done, the framework would be .NET 4.7.2. Okay, click create. So once it is done, we have to go to the tools and we have to click the package manager console and install some packages. So it's done. Now we have to click tools, which I'm finding. So tools, and here you have to click Nugget. Where is it? There is go packet manager. Click that and click packet manager console. Here let's copy and paste the command. And click enter. So once this is done, there is a second package that we have to run to install the other package. So it's done. Let me install the other package too. So once these are done, so it's done. Now we have to copy from lab. So let's copy this and once we copy this, return to this console, and in the solutions explorer here we can see, and we have programs.cs, replace the content with the code that we have copied. So if I click, so copy and paste, so this is the file for that, and once it is done, click save, and in the line 15, if we go to the line 15, so we have the connection string here, so we have to copy that and we have to change the password there. So let me copy that string, so client ID, go back, so paste, and I have already added the password, so this is the password you have to change, and once that is done, the next thing is you have to add the client ID and the key value. So let me check my notepad. So the client ID, so client, let me add the client ID and paste, and next the client secret key. Is it the client secret? Yeah. So I think he's talking about the value, add it, and let me add here and click save. So once it is done, and in the Visual Studio you can click the start button, click start, and so we have, so coming to the server password, let us copy it and paste it, and let me paste the password. Enter server password, enter key to exit, and adding sample patient data to database, the following error came. So coming to the enter password, the application will start the command window. When prompted for the password, type Azure SQL databases while showing some error. Okay. I'm not sure why it's showing me error. If I go start again, so well, did I change the password? Let me click another password which I've used. Yeah, so I think I have used the other password. Okay, so let's add a valid SSN. So leave the console app running and switch to the SQL management console. So if I type, let's type 999 I'm just typing the example 003. Patient found. However, let's go back to the SQL management console. So if I go back here, so where is the directory for that? Under medical database. Okay, we have to go to the, where is it? So let me, okay, I can't see the below one, so let me shift here and let me open that. Open the console here, and so this is the one. If I open here, if I go to the databases and medical, if I type medical database, click and enter new database. Oh sorry, not new database, it should be new query. So let me delete that once it's come back. So okay, so we don't need any, so let me medical, click new query, and in this new query let me add the details here. So let me, once it is done, from the medical following query, verify the data has been loaded into the database from the script. So let's go ahead and execute it. So we have got, and you can see the data has been encrypted here. If you can see SSN and birth date, everything is encrypted. Now if you go back to console where it says enter prompt, so this is the next task, so I've done it before itself. So if you enter this, enter the name, enter this particular SSN number, it says so patient has been found, and you can see the birthday related to that. It has been not encrypted here in this section. So now you can check the difference. So you can terminate the app console. Just so yeah, so it has been done, and once it's done, make sure you delete all the resource groups. So we have implemented successfully the key vault and implementation of secure data by setting up always encrypted. So if you have liked the video, please click the like button below, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel, and thank you guys.